how industrial development varies over the Earth's surface. What is the pattern of industrial development over the Earth's surface? And what processes are responsible for varying it? It studies the pattern and processes models, जो कि बहुत प्रिसाइज नहीं है अभी। अभी जितने भी थ्योरीज और मॉडल्स हैं, वही तो लिमिटेशन है इसकी। स्पेशल इंटरेक्शन एंड हाउ दिस ह्यूमन इंटरेक्शन शेप्स द लैंडस्केप, इसको सिमुलेट करती है अलग से इन वर्चुअल रियलिटी। अभी के डेटा को यूज करके फ्यूचर ग्रोथ कैसी होगी, बेस्ड ऑन प्रेजेंट ट्रेंड्स ऑफ इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ, इट कैन प्रेडिक्ट व्हाट विल बी द ग्रोथ पैटर्न इन फ्यूचर। हेलो फ्रेंड्स, माई सेल्फ अजय राज सिंह, and we'll continue with the discussion of human geography part of 2025 geography optional mains question paper. So the next question is, why is system analysis important in urban planning and what are its limitation? अभी तो सिस्टम एनालिसिस कुछ भी इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है। लेट दिस क्वांटम टेक्नोलॉजी बी ए रियलिटी, इट विल बी एबल टू सिमुलेट नेचर। फिर तो प्लानिंग इतनी प्रिसाइज होगी कि मतलब विदाउट एनी डेविएशन। वंस वी आर वर्किंग ऑन वर्ल्ड इज वर्किंग ऑन क्वांटम टेक्नोलॉजी, let this 1 million cubic quantum computer be ready and everything will be simulated precisely. Simulation करता है। तो हम यहाँ डिस्कस करेंगे सिस्टम एनालिसिस, व्हाई इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट। बिकॉज it has models, theories and laws, and by way of simulation, that is virtual reality, it is able to predict the future. System analysis, this helps in understanding the complex pattern of human interactions, this spatial interaction, and how this human interaction shapes the landscape, इसको सिमुलेट करती है अलग से in virtual reality. System analysis has got theories, laws and models by way of which it stimulates the reality. So this approach helps in understanding the complex pattern of human interaction, uh, complex pattern of human activity, its spatial interaction, and how these interactions shape the landscape. Through the use of models, theories, and laws, system analysis provide a comprehensive framework for examining how societies interact with their surrounding and manage resources. We make a simulation model of reality. These theories, models, and laws of in human geography, system approach uses these theories, models, and laws by, and provides a comprehensive framework for examining how society interacts with their surrounding and manage its resources. System analysis, this approach involves breaking down complex phenomena into distinct components and study analyzing how these components interact and function together. And this is how it is able to simplify the complex man-environment relationship and interpret it easily. So system analysis by way of its theories, models and laws is able to replicate, simulate the reality. जैसे फाइटर प्लेन्स के जो पायलट्स होते हैं ना, उनको सीधे हवाई जहाज में नहीं बिठाते थे। स्टिमुलेशन मॉडल्स होते हैं, स्टिमुलेशन फ्लाइट सिमुलेटर्स, उसमें बैठ के दे एक्सपीरियंस द रियल एक्सपीरियंस वर्चुअली। तो सिस्टम एनालिसिस इज हाईली यूजफुल इन अर्बन प्लानिंग. It can be used for predicting urban growth models, for transport network improvement, for development infrastructure development, for risk mitigation, for resource management, for analyzing the environment impact of any development project. This system analysis can help immensely. It helps planners to simulate reality and predict the outcomes of the policy changes. रियलिटी को सिमुलेट कर लेती है। जैसे अर्बन ग्रोथ मॉडल, क्या एप्लीकेशन है अर्बन प्लानिंग में, सिस्टम एनालिसिस के क्या क्या एप्लीकेशन है। अर्बन ग्रोथ मॉडल पता लगाना है अर्बन एक्सपेंशन कितनी तेजी से होगा। सिस्टम एनालिसिस enables planners to simulate urban expansion on the basis of present growth pattern. It simulate urban expansion based on current population growth rate and consumption of resources. तो इसको प्रेजेंट पैटर्न को सिमुलेट करके बताएगी फ्यूचर में ग्रोथ कैसी होगी। जैसे सिस्टम एनालिसिस मेक्स यूज ऑफ इट्स मॉडल्स विच आर डिजाइन टू प्रिडिक्ट फ्यूचर आउटकम्स बेस्ड ऑन प्रेजेंट डेटा। अभी के डेटा को यूज करके फ्यूचर ग्रोथ कैसी होगी प्रिडिक्ट करे। बेस्ड ऑन प्रेजेंट ट्रेंड्स ऑफ इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ, इट कैन प्रिडिक्ट व्हाट विल बी द ग्रोथ पैटर्न इन फ्यूचर। ट्रांसपोर्ट प्लानिंग में भी यूज होती है। बाय एनालाइजिंग ट्रैफिक फ्लो पैटर्न, system analysis can optimize transportation network to reduce congestion and enhance efficiency. This environment impact assessment में इसका बहुत जबरदस्त यूज है. System analysis helps access potential environment impact of any proposed plan and thus helps in sustainable planning. Resource management. System analysis by way of its models aids in identifying efficient use of resources and minimizing wastage, primarily in urban areas, urban development. Risk mitigation. It helps by way of its model, it helps in understanding in potential risks and preparing mitigation plans for resilient urban areas. By way of its theories and models, जो कि बहुत प्रिसाइज नहीं है अभी. अभी जितने भी थ्योरीज और मॉडल्स हैं वही तो लिमिटेशन है इसकी. पहली लिमिटेशन तो ये है, डिस्पाइट ऑल दिस सिस्टम एनालिसिस हैज क्लियर लिमिटेशंस. एक तो इट इज बेस्ड ऑन क्वांटिटेटिव टेक्निक्स व्हिच इन टर्न इज बेस्ड ऑन पॉजिटिविस्ट आइडियोलॉजी. पॉजिटिविस्ट आइडियोलॉजी में क्या है, ह्यूमन वैल्यूज, बिलीफ, एटीट्यूड्स, ईथोस, नॉर्म्स को इग्नोर कर देते हैं. तो दिस सिस्टम एनालिसिस अप्रोच, इट्स मॉडल्स एंड थ्योरीज आर बेस्ड ऑन positivism and quantitative techniques which ignore normative questions like human values, ethos, attitudes, beliefs. तो ये ह्यूमन इशू को एड्रेस नहीं करती है. इट ऑफन सिंप्लीफाइज रियलिटी, क्योंकि जितने भी मॉडल्स बने हैं, चाहे क्रिस्टोलर का हो, चाहे वॉन का हो, चाहे इंडस्ट्रियल लोकेशन थ्योरी ऑफ वो उसको हो, सब में दे टेक प्रिज्यूम मैन एज रैशनल इकोनॉमिक पर्सन एंड सरफेस एज आइसोट्रोपिक. तो बेसिकली इसमें रियलिटी को कॉम्प्रोमाइज किया जाता है. It is simplified for the sake of model building because we cannot take into account all the variables that actually occur in nature with the present technology. हाँ, जब quantum technology आ जाएगी, then we will able to replicate nature in virtual reality. It often simplifies reality. The model, theories, and laws of system analysis simplifies reality and rely heavily on quantitative data that cannot fully capture human behavior. Or basically, cities are shaped not only by measurable flows, but also by unpredictable human choices. Thus, over reliance on these rigid models that totally ignore human behavior cannot always lead to precise solutions. अभी ये limitation है. Let quantum technology make its breakthrough, and within 3-4 years, it will make it. और उसके बाद precise medicines, precise simulation without any flaw will be made possible. Weather prediction इतना precise होगा, everything will be, medicines will be engineered according to your DNA. So this approach will get a boost. So this is how इसकी limitation यही है basically, because it relies on models and theories, present models and theories of system analysis do not take into account human behavior, human values and norms, है ना? And human behavior is unpredictable. So these models are always not very close to reality. At times, their results are far deviated from real world. Next question. How have dichotomy and dualism affected the methodological development in geography? Of geography, describe. अब यहाँ हमको describe ये करना है how dichotomy and dualism has dictated methodological development. ज्योग्राफी को पढ़ने की जो अप्रोच है, कैसे इस डाइकोटोमी एंड डुअलिज्म की वजह से बदलती रही, बार-बार बदलती रही. That is how have dichotomy and dualism affected methodological development of geography. Methodological development of geography means the approaches, the methodologies devoted to the study of geography, they have changed. Dichotomy होता क्या है? Dichotomy is simply division into two strongly opposing group who are not ready to accept each other. Dualism means same thing existing in two forms. See, this dichotomy and dualism have existed in geography because of two reasons. First, what constitute the core area of study of geography? And second, what methodologies can be adopted to study geography? अब जैसे न्यूमरस डाइकोटोमी है, जैसे सिस्टमैटिक ज्योग्राफी वर्सेस रीजनल ज्योग्राफी. Systematic geography lays emphasis on building of theories and laws. It tries to identify how a particular phenomena varies over the Earth's surface, what are the processes involved in this variation, law regarding and how, like agricultural land use pattern, it varies across the Earth's surface. identifying the pattern of this land use and also the processes which are producing these land use. And thus it tries to identify theories and laws. Whereas regional geography is strongly against any theory and law, it says the sole purpose of geography is to study a particular region and identify how it is unique, how it is peculiar, and how it is different from other. तो इन दोनों का सब्जेक्ट मैटर अलग-अलग है और इनमें मेथोडोलॉजी भी अलग-अलग लगती है। सिस्टमैटिक ज्योग्राफी में लॉज ऑफ साइंस आर अप्लाइड बट रीजनल ज्योग्राफी इज स्ट्रांगली अगेंस्ट इट। इट सेज ह्यूमन बिहेवियर इज अनप्रेडिक्टेबल, यू कैन नॉट अप्लाई साइंस। वैसे ही डाइकोटोमी है फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी और ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी में। फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी में द फोकस इज द स्टडी ऑफ नेचुरल लैंडस्केप। इन ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी द फोकस ऑफ स्टडी इज कल्चरल लैंडस्केप। तो they कहते हैं फिजिकल जोग्राफर्स lay focus on study of physical landscape, and in physical landscape geomorphology, climatology, natural laws can be applied flawlessly, whereas in cultural landscape where human is involved, lawmaking is difficult. It can be based on probability, not certainty. वैसे ही कई सारी डाइकोटोमीज हैं, हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे। डाइकोटोमी बिटवीन डिटर्मिनिज्म एंड पॉसिबिलिज्म, डाइकोटोमी बिटवीन क्वांटिटेटिव रिवॉल्यूशन एंड क्रिटिकल रिवॉल्यूशन। ये सारी अप्रोचेस हैं, दीज ऑल आर अप्रोचेस टू स्टडी ज्योग्राफी। अब क्वेश्चन ये कह रहा है, फोकस टू सी द क्वेश्चन, हाउ हैव डाइकोटोमी एंड डुअलिज्म affected the methodological development of geography? How this dichotomy has led to application of different methods for the study of geography? Yes, precisely, we'll discuss that. So these dichotomies have long influenced the methodological evolution of geography. Yes, no doubt about it. That is how geographers approach research and knowledge building in geography. Let us start with the first dichotomy, that is dichotomy between physical geography versus human geography. This is the oldest dichotomy. See, physical geography में बताया ना, the focus of geographer is to study the physical landscape, that is that is natural landscape. And in human geography, the focus of geographer is to study cultural landscape, that is man-made landscape. Now, in physical geography, like geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, laws of natural science can be applied flawlessly. Climatology में देखो Coriolis force is applied basically, and various natural laws are applied flawlessly, and conclusion can be drawn with scientific precision. But in case of human geography, यहाँ पर where socio-cultural phenomena are involved, because human is involved in human geography, the same laws of natural science does not lend themselves to be for precise determination. Human behavior can be predicted in groups, that too on the basis of probability. ये laws precise answer नहीं दे पाते human geography में. The methods of natural science do not lend themselves very well to the study of socio-cultural phenomena. These generalization about human groups can be based on probability, not certainty. You cannot certainly say that the group of people will behave in a particular way. So these laws are not so much result oriented. They are not so much precise. They are based on probability. Probability stochastic models होते हैं. Probability कह सकते हैं कि because random probability कह सकते हैं कि ऐसा outcome होगा, but not with scientific precision. In physical geography, focus is on study of physiography, and these scholars adopt deterministic approach. That is, they take nature as omnipotent and man as a passive agent, and nature determines the human course of action. वो ये मान के चलते हैं कि nature is in physical geography, the physical features or physical landscape, these scholars of physical geography adopt deterministic approach, attaching great importance to the elements of physical environment, and which are set to determine human course of action, and man is taken as a passive agent responding to the stimuli of nature. Whereas the basic philosophy of human geography is quite different. It takes both man and nature at par. It believes both are mutually interdependent on each other. There's no one superior, no one inferior. The basic philosophy of followers of human geography is to establish man-nature mutual relationship in which each one of them is dependent on the other. That is, man and nature are co-partners, they are co-actors, co-players. They are coordinated and on space, not subordinated. The philosophy of human geography believes that man and environment are co-partners, co-actors, co-players, which are coordinated on space, not subordinate. ना कोई superior, ना कोई inferior. Both are equal co-partners, co-actors, and the object is to study the mutual interplay. Now, while this separation of physical geography and human geography led to specialized development in these two branches, but it eroded the unity of the subject. हालांकि फिजिकल जोग्राफर्स ने फिजिकल जोग्राफी के प्रिंसिपल्स बनाए, ह्यूमन जोग्राफर्स ने कल्चरल लैंडस्केप की स्टडी की, दैट लेड टू स्पेशलाइजेशन, बट दैट eroded the unity of the subject and hindered the geography's ability to provide holistic understanding of man-environment interrelationship. Second, systematic geography versus regional geography. Now, the approaches to study systematic and regional geography were different. Now, regional geography focus on study of particular regions and to identify and to find out the uniqueness of that region and how that region is peculiar and how it is different from other regions. That is areal differentiation. The focus of regional geographer is to study a particular region in entirety, in totality, completeness, both human aspect and natural aspect. Both are studied with their all interrelationship and how that region is unique, is peculiar, and it is different from the other region. That is, this approach adopts ideographic approach. Regional geography adopts ideographic approach, that is which focuses on differences that exist over the earth's surface. Systematic geography इसको regional geography के थ्रू, और regional geography, while it studies a region, it adopts descriptive approach and it adopts synthetic approach. Its methodology is ideographic and it adopts descriptive approach. Descriptive approach means it highlights the salient features of the region. Descriptive, it highlights the salient features of the region. And synthetic means it studies the entire region in totality, including all natural and man-made aspects, matlab natural landscape and human activity all together. That is synthetic. It studies them in totality. Systematic geography adopts analytical approach. It studies the entire world. Suppose you are studying a particular phenomena, it studies the distribution of that phenomena all across the earth's surface, how that phenomena varies. It studies the patterns, how the patterns of human activity or soil ko le lo, how soil varies over the earth's surface, or how cultural landscape varies over the earth's surface. It studies a particular phenomena on the entire earth, on entire world. That is, it is analytical. It focus on the changes in the pattern. कोई particular phenomena choose कर लिया, जैसे industry, how industrial development varies over the earth's surface, what is the pattern of industrial development over the earth's surface, and what processes are responsible for varying it. It studies the pattern and processes of a particular phenomena observed over the earth's surface. It focuses on process and patterns across the earth's surface, and it aims to generalize theories and laws. That is, it adopts nomothetic approach. Nomothetic approach होती है that tries to find out the similarities in the phenomena over the earth's surface on the basis of which it frames theories and laws. जैसे कोई agriculture landscape है, different types of agriculture, कहीं rudimentary settled agriculture है, कहीं commercial agriculture है, कहीं intensive agriculture है. So it tries to find out the similarity between the varying pattern of agriculture on the basis of which it frames theories and laws. That approach is known as nomothetic. Systematic geography adopts nomothetic approach. Now, next, dichotomy between determinism. देखो अप्रोचेस अलग अलग हैं ज्योग्राफी को पढ़ने की, methodologies, different methodologies. These are the different methodologies to study geography. Now, determinist versus possibilist. Determinist stress on cause and effect laws. Determinist take nature as omnipotent nature, which dictates the human course of action. मतलब बताया, determinist believe in cause and effect laws. Nature is the cause and human response is the law. Determinists पहले भी डिस्कस किया था अभी. Determinists believe in omnipotence of nature and man as passive agent. They seek to determine cause and effect law, seeing environment as dictating human activity. Whereas possibilists highlight human agency and human adaptability. Possibilist approach दूसरा है. They say they take nature as a co-partner and say nature offers a set of choices, and depending upon human cultural development, man can choose any one among them. It gives space to culture and human choice. Possibilists highlight human agency and human adaptability, where environment is seen to offer choices, and man can choose any among them depending on his cultural advancement. तो बेसिकली ये अप्रोच वो दोनों को इक्वल फुटिंग पे रखती है। इसीलिए तो कहते हैं कि फिजिकल ज्योग्राफर्स आर डिटर्मिनिस्ट एंड दीज आर सिस्टमैटिक ज्योग्राफर। ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफर्स आर पॉसिबिलिस्ट एंड दे आर रीजनल ज्योग्राफर। ये एक्सेप्शन है रेड्ज़ल, इसके अलावा कोई एक्सेप्शन नहीं है मॉडर्न ज्योग्राफर्स में। All possibilists are regional geographer and they adopt human geography. All physical geographers are systematic geographer and they adopt determinism. Human geographers are possibilist. Now, another dichotomy between quantitative revolution and critical geography. You see, quantitative revolution is based on positivist ideology that does not take into account human values, human belief, human attitudes, human morals, customs, उन सबको इग्नोर करता है. Quantitative evolution based on positivist ideology ignored these value-based question as a justification for being scientific. क्योंकि वो कहता था scientific questions are those questions which can be tested, experimented, experienced. Values, ethos, beliefs, they cannot be tested, experimented, so those are not scientific questions. It replaced inductive application by hypothetic deductive approach. Hypothetic inductive क्या होता है? You go to a place, observe a phenomena, again go to another place, observe a phenomena, again go to a third place, observe a phenomena, and on the basis of individual inferences, you make a general statement that is particular to journal. That is inductive approach. It is scientific. The quantitative evolution, these scholars, they were based on hypothetic deductive approach. मतलब एक प्रायरी मॉडल बनाया, पहले से एक हाइपोथेसिस बना ली, एक थ्योरी बना ली, एंड देन दे टेस्ट इट अगेंस्ट द रियल वर्ल्ड. Hypothetic deductive. They ignore normative question, value based questions, and this quantitative evolution replaced inductive approach by hypothetic deductive approach, that is devising a priori model of structure of reality and then testing it against the real world. It incorporated numerous statistical techniques, mathematical techniques into the study of geography models, and on the basis of these models, statistical mathematical techniques, it made spatial analysis of geography. Critical revolution, which was anti-positivist. Critical revolution का पहला तो stand ये था कि since quantitative revolution is based on positivist ideology, it ignores human values, human ethos, human instinct, human behavior. How can such be approach be justified for the study of human behavior? मतलब it is totally ignoring human. Critical revolution was anti-positivist because of a positivist approach believed in normative approach. It ignored normative questions. It was anti-positivist and it was against the mechanistic models developed by quantitative revolution. It tended to replace critical revolution, wanted to replace it with more humanistic approaches. ये कहती थी बेसिकली जो ह्यूमन है उसको ही तुम इग्नोर कर रहे हो. It tended to replace these mechanistic models by more humanistic approach. और क्वांटिटेटिव रिवॉल्यूशन का ही रिजल्ट था कि ये ह्यूमनिस्टिक ज्योग्राफी इवॉल्व हुई, बिहेवियरल ज्योग्राफी इवॉल्व हुई, वेलफेयर ज्योग्राफी इवॉल्व हुई, ह्यूमन इकोलॉजी इवॉल्व हुई, रेडिकल ज्योग्राफी इवॉल्व हुई. ऑल दीज इवोल्यूशंस आर द रिजल्ट ऑफ क्रिटिकल रिवॉल्यूशन. It intended to replace this mechanistic models by humanistic approach, presenting focus on decision maker. बोले focus तुम्हारा decision maker and his perceptual world, what he perceives, because every human decision is based on the mental perception of the reality, not on the basis of reality. Reality क्या है किसी को नहीं मालूम मालूम. We all are making a specific image of that reality based on our attitude, based on our cultural grooming up, the way we have been groomed up. The cultural filters are there. Through those filters, we perceive reality in our mind, and whatever we perceive, that is the reality for us. For different people, same fact may have different meaning. तो ये कहते हैं this approach focus on decision maker and his perceptual world, on his mental world, and it totally ignores reality, which can be studied by positivist method. So this critical approach prioritizes lived experience, what is actually experienced by man, and social justice. This methodological clash has deep philosophical meanings because ignoring humans cannot lead to any conclusive solution. हम human problems की वजह से तो पढ़ रहे हैं और humans को ignore करोगे, you will ignore human values and ethos, then it would have no meaning. So these all dichotomies in different ways. Quantitative revolution आया अपने साथ नई approaches लाया geography पढ़ने की, फिर critical revolution आया, it adopted different approaches. Systematic geography, regional geography, all developed their own approaches to study geography. In this process, we can say dichotomy and dualism, although eroded the unity of the subject, but it led to more refined methods of studying geography. These approaches evolved different methodologies and enhance its practical application in real world. Okay. We'll continue with the discussion. That's all.